opponents down here, ladies and gentlemen. In this All New Zealand affair, can you please welcome Julia Tilley.
Well, hello there and welcome to the beautiful Mount Maunganui for the New Zealand Beach Tour Finals. It's the final day of the final competition of the season. It's a big one. It's a beautiful day in paradise. Well, Louis Let with you here for 4 semi-finals and 2 final matches. The first one, a battle of the top 2 teams in New Zealand. The winner will play the winner of Vanuatu in Canada. 2 international wildcards. The final taking place a little bit later on this afternoon. So the players welcomed into the arena. The first team to be announced. Olivia MacDonald and Francesca Kirwan. And the second team, Julia Tilley and Shauna Polley. Well, the top 2 teams of the season go head-to-head for a place in the final. Olivia and Francesca wearing the pink jerseys. Won the Tour Championship last year. But Tilley and Polley already on the charge under the guidance of the legend Mike Dudson. But we are underway in the opening game of the day and what DJ Tilley is calling Super Sunday here. Francesca Kirwan with the serve. Team that have been travelling on the World Tour, based in Italy throughout the summer months of last year, trying to make the most of having 2 summers a year. But Julia Tilley, super experienced, just goes wrist away. Defenders constantly trying to key into the body language, the approach line of the spiker, trying to stay stable and balanced back there. And that's a fantastic serve from Julia Tilley. Living here in Mount Maunganui. Has a double major in sport management and a post-grad in primary teaching. Good service pressure to the middle, taking the cut shot almost out of the game, but that's a hammer from Olivia MacDonald, but the high line is good. Both teams bringing their A game here in what's a fantastic setting. It's the 6th event of the season, brought to you by Beach Daz, company specialising in health and wellness, and beach volleyball as well. That's tight, but the knuckle away from the body. It's a good side out, really, from a tight set from Kirwan. Olivia MacDonald understands that the set's tight, so the knuckle comes out. The knuckle you'll see when the set is tight. It's the only way you can get elevation on the ball and try and turn it. MacDonald now serving. Previously of the University of Arizona, was based in the US for some time. Set's very tight. Once more, it's too tight. And you can just see the angles are diminished, really, for the spiker as soon as the ball is leaked into the net. So far, advantage Tilley and Polley by 2. It's a lovely day out there. Yesterday, a little bit windier. There certainly was a good end and a bad end with a headwind coming off the shore, but it's a little bit of luck off the netband. And that really sums up the opening end here in Mount Maunganui. Polley Tilley, who have already really got the Tour Championship in the bag this year. They won the opening event here at the Mount earlier on in the season. They are very much a team to beat at the moment, but breaking the block is Tilley. No respect really from Olivia MacDonald. Hammered to the line, trying to break late. MacDonald's fully aware of that and knows her options to go with power. Float serve from way downtown. Coming on 2, Polley. Can't quite steer the ball. Trying to initiate the 2-ball, Polley Tilley, just to keep the blocker watching, keep the blocker on point. It's tough for a blocker to always pay attention. Blockers have to be watching the player and the ball, be aware of where both of those objects are. The cut shot's good, straight through the body line from Julia Tilley, but it's accurate, it's smart, and it's smooth, and it just opens up that 2-point lead once more after a couple of plays in a row that go the way of Kirwan and MacDonald. Julia Tilley is back to serve again. Look at the backdrop here. It's absolutely stunning. Really is. Tight plays once more. Polley decides to break the second time. She's on the turn and manages to get her wrist underneath it, but it's tough breaking when you're deciding to break the block, whether you break early and try and look after the hard hit, or whether you have to break late and gamble on the shot. Not quite still back there, Polley, so in turn, never quite stable. Service pressure, not on this occasion. Julia and Shauna also won in Northland this year, and also the Mount Super Slam here earlier on in the year, so it's been a fine season for them on the tour. More breaking of the block, but look who's there. It's something they're purposely doing, trying to break really, really early. A couple of looks at the court, vision's key, so is calling. Kirwan will be aware of what's going on, and she can make that call to the partner. It's also down to MacDonald to have a little look at the court. You'll see players will be trying to look at the court, the blocker, the defender at the last possible time, usually trying to be in the air, but at the very worst, you want to be looking at the court at the bottom of your jump to try and see what the blocker and the defender are doing. Also helps you make a good decision, and then you just need the arm swing to match, whether you can hit through the body, away from the body, what angles you've got. Serve to the centre. Polley from the left side going on the back set. Sublime swing really sells a bit of the angle. The chest comes round and shows the team in pink. She's going to approach the cross court and then just chips away over the top. So far, so good. It's always going to be a close one. Set super tight. Chance for a block. No block. And Polley Tilley sort of looking at each other in dismay. Lost the height in the air, Kirwan, but certainly won't mind. Olivia MacDonald, both of the players on this team based in Auckland. There you go, going super late into the angle. And Olivia MacDonald's just taking matters into her own hands here. Chases in after serving. Goes super late and gets the swat. So far, play of the day. And look what's happened. The lead's just slightly changed. Polley from the inside, having another look at the court. This time goes off the hands. Smart decision to go with a little bit more physicality, as we've just spoken about. It's tough for a blocker like MacDonald there to serve, come into the net, and allow herself to get settled. Blocking is all about vision, timing, pressing. And obviously, the more stress you have on those movements by having to chase in and block, the harder it is to get that line and that vision. But a missed serve from Shauna Polley. The winner of this game will play the winner of Canada and Vanuatu. Vanuatu preparing for the Continental Cup. So this competition here in Mount Maunganui, just the first phase of competition over what's really a week where we're spoilt with action here in this stunning location. Some of the best teams in the world arriving here in New Zealand over the next couple of days. There's a big serve to the outside arm. We go to the technical timeout. 12-9. They've done it the hard way. A slow start, but service pressure. A couple of good blocks as well from Olivia MacDonald. I mean, the team in pink are in the lead going into the second half of this opening set of the ladies semi-final of the New Zealand Beach Tour. The volleyball continues over the next week. The Continental Cup starts on Tuesday. Australia are in town for the men, alongside lots of other nations. An Olympic qualifier that's still very much open. It's the Davis Cup of beach volleyball. If you're anywhere near this region or this part of town, you've got to be coming down. New Zealand looking to get into the next qualifying round for the Olympic Games in Tokyo. Both of these teams will be representing, so it's great preparation for them. Timeouts came at a very good time. Comes in quite square there, Tilley, but she uses the hands really well. The squarer you come in theory, the less cross-court angles you've got to work with, unless you have a great arm swing, you can really open up. High line, great chase, but to no avail. Tilley makes that read. It's a very good read, but it's just the execution. MacDonald Kirwan back with a 3-point lead here. Knocked out of system, heading from off the net. Julia Tilley goes high and heavy. It's a fantastic swing from Tilley. Because you pass off the net, you have to do some leg work to kick out and really drive through the ball in your approach. Maybe from the defense perspective, MacDonald Kirwan would have wanted to take that middle ball. Polley this time, a little look at the court, the high line, great chase from the defender, Francesca Kirwan. Looks as if the point's gone their way. My word, on the move, on the charge, manages to just get the scoop underneath it. And it just shows what a change in direction this match has already made. It's Polley Tilley that had the start. It really was early 3 or 4 point lead, but they're serving with a bit of fire behind the baseline. Francesca Kirwan this time dropping it short. Tilley from the centre this time. Just chips it back line. Great awareness. That will be her eyes working alongside her approach work. She just turns it back into the short corner. Looks as if Kirwan MacDonald were looking to try and break late into the angle. Left that short ball open, but knowing that it's open is one thing, and putting the ball away is something else. This time passing off the net, Kirwan. So a change of service target for Polley Tilley as this set's progressed. Slight change of tactics as we go through. Just asking questions of the opposition in multiple ways. Julia Tilley. The wonderful backdrop. Fast passing off the arms. That's recovery setting from Kirwan MacDonald. But once again, Tilley makes the read on the cut shot, but it's all a bit too much. The second phase of play, really robust swing to the back corner. And the physicality is what's impressive. Kirwan and MacDonald, they can find plays from anywhere. First one's a chop. It's well read, but the overpass just put away. Really accurate, powerful swings to the perimeter of court, doing a bit of justice here. Serving to the middle. It'd be interesting if Polley has a cut shot. The ball's dropping inside, so she does have to go on the cut, but it's more as if the ball's dictating the play and not the player dictating the ball. Running away now. Francesca Kirwan, Olivia MacDonald in transition this time, but completely in rhythm. Tilley's been into the inside. 3-point game at the perfect time. Tilley rocked again, so they're out of rhythm. Angles will be lost, so it's a bodyline swing straight into the defense. This time, Kirwan MacDonald out of system. Free ball. Desperately needed here for Polley. Tilley to get back in the game. They take it. It's Polley that goes to the line. Once more, the block breaks really early, and it gives a clear picture offensively for Shauna Polley. She'll do the rest.
That shot down the line was absolute money for 14-16.
Couple of breaks needed though. 2 behind. Service pressure. Suppose it's service error, and that's unfortunately for Polley Tilley where the game potentially could be won and lost. When they need an ace, or they need to try and rock the opposition out of system. Service error puts them 3 points behind. Tilley put on the floor, so out of rhythm, but once more, just that little nurdle back to the line is one of the finest swings that she's got in her locker. Seen her hammer the ball as well and use that off-speed play to the line. Just mixing everything up. But it's service pressure. They need a defense. There's chance for a block. The knuckles good. Polley's all over that one. Chance in transition. It's a free ball. Rhythm is with Polley. Tilley, the turn back to the line is very, very close. Okay, now we have an equation that needs solving. Polley Tilley asking questions of the second referee.
A wonderful referee duo, absolutely on the spot. It's a heartbreaker, but out of bounds it goes for 18-15.
The point goes
with the serve.
Kirwan MacDonald.
We'll break back there. So then Polley keeping the lead at 2. First set at 21.
Olivia MacDonald.
Women's semi-final, first of the day on Super Sunday.
He's played in the World University Games, also won the Italian tour and took a 5th in the USA. Back in system. Still patient defense from Polley, and there's a rip on the angle. My word. This game just keeps swinging around. 3-point game has just swung back to 1, and that's because Polley is just sitting in the angle, arms on the ball. It's more that she still plays defense and gets the ball onto the net, so the vision is better. She's got more angles to play with, and it opens up that absolute whip of an arm. No way. And if it's not Polley banging balls into the angle, it's Julia Tilley swiping up in the block. 3-point swing. The way of the top-ranked team at the moment. #1 seeds on multiple competitions this season. They've done it the hard way, but now they look like they could just be in pole position. They need another break. Talking of breaking, it's a good break from Olivia MacDonald, but the touch is too tight. Polley Tilley sensing something here. What a run. And due to that run, multiple breaks in quick succession. It's them that go into this timeout called by Francesca Kirwan, and Olivia MacDonald 1 up after being 3 down. Big momentum shift. Timeout taken by Kirwan MacDonald just to try and ease this momentum shift, and it's worked, which you could potentially ask the question, did they take that timeout slightly too late? Because it's absolutely worked for them. Great feet. Offensively, really aggressive footwork. The last two steps loading through the heel, engaging the glute to try and get the height, but it's the first set point that goes to Polley Tilley. Remember, 3 points down earlier on in this set. At business time as well, it's 18-15. They've turned it around 2019. First set point now goes to the number 1 seeds. They drop it in short, so already knocking Olivia MacDonald and Francesca Kirwan out of rhythm and system. That's not the New Zealand Beach Tour Finals 2020. It's the third event that's been held here this season, so the tour directors love using this location, and you can understand why. Great sands, great backdrop, and the level of beach volleyball high. Well, this team, Francesca Kirwan with the service error, but they're going high risk for high reward really, which means they're missing the odd 1 or 2, but on the whole they're really trying to knock the opposition out of system to take their angles away, or try and obviously serve aces. Tilley with the wrist away, just changing the angle, coming in on one approach line, ripping it away from the body, off the hands. Really still defensive position. Little look at the cord, and it's a wrist away off the outside hand that's good as gold. As you start turning angles, it starts to make it really difficult for the blocker. This time it's Kirwan MacDonald. MacDonald with the continuation play. Polley can only find the net. Be interesting to know what the coach of Polley Tilley, Mike Dudson's, making of this performance. They had to dig deep in the opening set, that's for sure. Spin serve, so more service pressure coming from the team in pink, and 2 quick errors from the serve. And something's going to have to give here for Kirwan and MacDonald. They're going to have to start finding their service rhythm. They're going to have to start finding some confidence from behind the baseline. They want to come back into this one, but luckily for them, Polley's also made a couple of errors in quick succession, and that just opens up the game once more. It's 2-3. This float serve that we're seeing, high line, exquisite again, selling the angle, padding the line from Shauna Polley. But the serve from Kirwan MacDonald, the float serve, is very much like Laura Ludwig's serve on the whole. Laura Ludwig, the reigning Olympic gold medalist from Germany, former world champion. He was actually coached by New Zealander Craig Susu, who's now the coach, funny enough, of Francesca Kirwan and Olivia MacDonald. So passing on some knowledge, Craig Susu, to the team in pink. And that knowledge happens to be very, very valuable. Tight setting though, chance for the block, but again, just working the ball, manipulating the ball back on the angle is strong. Very, very good. Olivia MacDonald. Finding patience, finding rhythm, finding a way to still score points. MacDonald to serve. This time the spin serve is working, and if you've paid attention to a couple of things, the serving is better, and that has a direct influence on the block defense. But this time, Polley goes through. Tracking the ball back, getting caught a little bit deep, but still managing to create an angle into the front side of the court. And 2 or 3 times we've seen the block toward another service error.
So when you hear the players talking to each other out there, they're trying to let their partner know where the defence is set up, where the blocker is, so they can run the offensive attack. Double thumbs up for Mount Maunganui. It's a nice touch for that first bit.
Kirwan this time again with that squat pop float serve that very much quite a lot of the Germans are using on the World Tour as well, but they're struggling to find a defense or a block here, and you can just see in their body language that frustration is starting to eke in slowly. Polley Tilley is shooting the ball around, they're using the block well. And the serve is also strong, coming up a little bit early in the pass, trying to chip back to the line. Olivia MacDonald.
Setting up everything in Tilley and Polley right now. Just really good variation of speed and angle.
And as you can hear, DJ Tilley just talking about the serving in the venue, and he's spot on, like changing up the speed and the areas of the serve, and it's just knocking Kirwan MacDonald out of rhythm. It's one thing serving for aces, but even if it's a quick touch off the pass, or you can try and knock the server to the floor, it knocks them out of rhythm and it takes away angles and their vision. So even you don't really have to serve aces to be successful behind the service line. Just depends what you're playing for, but more side out play, 4-point game at the change of ends, and they look really comfortable here. It's the high line from Polley Tilley this time. Polley serving, this time chasing and playing defense. Straight approach, MacDonald having a hammer, goes through the seam by the looks of it. It's a robust out of system swing. You can see that Polley and Tilley serve them out of rhythm, so the ball's off the net, and because of that they decide to make the break. Once again they've shown their cards quite early to MacDonald and Kirwan, and that means they can make a decision just to rip the ball out of system. That's a hefty swing chance on the left side, breaking the block. Once again out of system, hitting off the net. How many angles are open? It's a very sharp angle, but Polley is all over it. Couple of side steps, a long touch of the ball, and they're running away once more. Remember, 3 points down in the opening set. They went on a 4-point swing, and now they're 4 points up in this, the second set of the ladies' semi-final. It's one-way traffic here in Mount Maunganui. And it comes with the service pressure that they're providing all of the time. Tilley once more, they're split blocking, so both players are taking in turns to block and play defense. Angle play, high fives all around for the team in pink. Looks like there may have been a touch off the block. Certainly the call from the first referee. MacDonald comes back to serve, and what we're learning here is that you just can't keep the number 4 seeds out of this game because of the service pressure they have in the locker. MacDonald with a deep serve, but the pass from Polley is good, and the side out comes because of the pass. She's pushed really deep there, so she has to go back with the ball, keeping the shoulders behind the ball and keeping her feet in a real stable spot as well. Polley scores that point because of the pass. Yes, it's a spike that actually scores it, but good passing has a knock-on effect. On the turn, finding sidelines or not finding sidelines is the question. Point goes to the side out team. spin knuckle, net touch against Polley. Will be just because Julia Tilley just squeezes that ball a little bit tight. It's a game of risk and reward, really, passing. You want to pass close to the net because then your vision and the amount of angles you can hit increase. But this time it's slightly safer from Tilley. 2-point swing from MacDonald and Kirwan comes to an end. They're digging their heels in. They don't want to see this game done in 2. We go to a technical timeout after 21 points. It's a 3-point game to the team who are top of the rankings at the moment. The champions race here in New Zealand. And also the winners of the Mount Super Slam. Some big players coming our way later on as well. Vanuatu versus Canada for a place in the final. Both teams playing a lot on the FIVB World Tour. Canada just passing through New Zealand before going to Gold Coast next week and competing in the FIVB 3-star event that's happening in Coolangatta. Vanuatu are here preparing for the Continental Cup, which starts on Tuesday. And then you've got Mike Watson and Johan Timmer up against Sam Blacks of Hartles and Nicklin. Both teams have won on the tour this year, playing in the men's semi-final. And then you have Canada men up against Sam O'Day. Now, Sam O'Day, potentially the poster boy of New Zealand beach volleyball, playing with Australian Chris Blake. That's the final semi-final. So 6 matches coming our way today in what's already turning out to be super entertaining. Shauna Polley, Julia Tilley in charge of this one. Going on 2, you see it so early, as does the block of MacDonald. She's watching through the net, but it's the chip and the chisel off the hands, trying to speed the play up. Polley, Tilley have got a firm grip on this opening semi-final.
Really stuck close to the net, scooped it back up, 13-9 scoreboard. Nice play, quick gets out there, Olivia had some work to do to set.
Olivia MacDonald this time jumping off 1 foot, and she's a little bit out of sync, and when she's drifting, or when the spike is drifting in theory, it's also making it tough for the blocker as well, because they're keying off the spiker. So as soon as they're a little bit out of rhythm, you sort of expect the blocker to be out of rhythm or having to really concentrate hard on their line. Ace or error? Looks like an error from Kirwan MacDonald. Shauna Polley serving, who was a top-ranked player statistically at the Commonwealth Games until they were knocked out in the quarterfinal. New Zealand. Commonwealth Games won by the world champions from Canada, Sarah Pavin. Melissa Humana Paradis. From the left side, sitting in the body line patiently. It's really good from Kirwan. Second opportunity, she's earned it because of the defensive play earlier and the chip. What a read that is, some rally. Another opportunity, no way. Third phase, overpass, killed finally. Olivia MacDonald has the last laugh, but Julia Tilley sweeping on the cut shot. Some dig that one. She has to reset, no block, but she manages to stay calm. But the overpass dealt with in fine fashion, and maybe that's the swing needed by Kirwan MacDonald to push forwards in this second set. Trying to turn angles. Julia Tilley trying to turn the ball really late on the cut shot, sell the hard swing, and turn it to the sideline. But as soon as you think that one team is pulling away in this game, the other one comes flying back. It's a real big rivalry between these two teams. High line's a strong one. Polley just chipping and churning away. I think what's impressive there is you go on a 2-point swing against you, but then you have the ability to still stay calm and put the ball away. They haven't allowed themselves to go down a rabbit hole here, Tilley and Polley. And that's key. It's easily done in this game. The court can start to feel bigger and bigger as soon as you miss a couple of side outs. Tight setting. Chance to hammer though. The physicality out here.
Dispatched accordingly, wonderful spike there.
Olivia MacDonald now back to serve. And this service pressure mentality that they possess is maybe going to be their best friend throughout the middle to end stages of this second set. Once again out of system, set's really tight, but it's another hammer. MacDonald is just taking this completely into her own hands. From the right side, from the left side, from the service line, everything's starting to come together for the number 4 seeds here. It's Tilley this time passing off the net. She's going to struggle to find angles from here, so there's a defensive play for Kirwan and MacDonald, but the conversion just left lacking. MacDonald's just had 3 or 4 great plays in quick succession. The team that have gone with Craig Susu to Europe throughout the European summer are still in touch here. The little cut shot was the only one available there. Quick touch off the pass, free ball. Chance to really stabilise and open up a 2-point lead again, way off the net, so the dig is completely on. Ah, back on one, a little bit of luck, just squeezing. Francesca Kirwan just around the ball. And they're hitting off the net, so the power is taken away. She has to cut it to the angle. It's almost like a forehand from Kirwan. 16 all.
Next up, it's Canada v Vanuatu, but right now we're going to quick sit down.
There's absolutely no surprise. Polley Tilley have had to take a timeout here in Mount Maunganui.
Coming out in just a couple of minutes' time to say thanks. It's the proper hand for Christmas. Beach volleyball. Gigi Gardner Holmes NZ Tour Final. Rolling with you this morning at Super Sunday. Now, Maunganui. Can you clap your hands, people? Can you clap your hands and make some noise? Show some love for these beach volleyballers.
DJ Tilley calling the action in the venue. Giving it large. In true Tilley action, running the show here the whole weekend, providing great entertainment. Some big jams as well, 16 all. Timeout sometimes causes a service error, but that's great concentration from Francesca Kirwan, and it's the error now from Julia Tilley. It's very similar to what we saw in the opening set, where Polley Tilley 3 behind. This is maybe a 4-point lead for them in the second, but physicality, great serving from Kirwan and MacDonald have got them back in charge here. There's one back there. It looks like there's a net touch off Olivia MacDonald, but it doesn't matter because Julia Tilley just stays aggressive and works away from the body once more. It's a really good swing within this game to come in on the cross court and just change the angle of the swing by a small amount. 17 all, crowd loving it here as the grandstand starts to pick up. Second day in paradise, it really is, from the centre. Francesca Kirwan. It's good serving to the middle, making the passers step, bringing them through the middle, which in theory takes away their angles and quite often their power to certain zones, and Kirwan just overcooks one. Just different tactics being used by both teams. MacDonald Kirwan really going for service pressure. But Tilley and Polley going for accuracy and making blocks at the net as well. Trying to bring Francesca Kirwan and Olivia MacDonald through the centre of the court 2 times in a row. That serve from middle to middle has worked sublimely. 2-point lead. And all that hard work from Francesca Kirwan and Olivia MacDonald. Well, certainly can't say it's gone to waste yet, but Tilley and Polley are working really hard, just as hard as their opposition. Ball's coming over on 2, waiting patiently once more. Tilley, who's really coming back into this game, turns it back to the line really late, smoothly, and really accurately as well. And all of a sudden, just when it looked like they were heading to a defeat in the second set and we were going to 3, hey, it's actually a match point for Julia and Shauna. Short serving. Kirwan MacDonald desperate for a point here, but Tilley is really patient once more. The touch is great. Defensively into the line. We're all waiting for the referee's decision, and it's just the wrong side of the sideline.
2 points to save here. It's still match point. Francesca Kirwan and Olivia MacDonald with the serve. 2 match points to save. 18-20. Match point with the serve.
Spin serve, leading to, the ball's gone long, and the first finalists are confirmed here at the New Zealand Beach Tour Finals. It's the #1 seeded team of Shauna Polley and Julia Tilley. They will be going through to meet the winner of Canada and Vanuatu. The second semi-final coming our way in a few moments' time. That game had just about everything. Momentum swings, service pressure, some outrageous defensive plays. The best of New Zealand are certainly good enough for world volleyball, but it's that team in your picture, Shauna Polley and Julia Tilley, that will be going through to the finals later on. But who will they be playing? Vanuatu, Canada, next up here in Mount Maunganui. We're going to head down for a very quick interview with Julia and Shauna in just a moment. And you imagine they are going to be very, very...
The most important thing for me in life is my family. We are so lucky that we get to enjoy lots of things together, and that's when we're best. We like to sponsor sports clubs and sports individuals. When you can play a small part in a Hamiltonian setting a world record, well, that's amazing. My family has been involved in building houses just on 50 years in the Waikato. I feel proud that we're leaving a mark on the region through building great houses and providing jobs, but it's not about me, it's about our team who are working extremely hard with a great commitment to deliver an amazing home. I know that GJs give you the best of both worlds. We're locals, we're available to talk to, but you also get security and value and accountability through a group. I want our clients to go home and say, we made the right decision to build with GJ Gardner.
I've always loved this region. Right from when I was a kid, it's had a really special place in my heart.
Lake Rotoiti would be one of our favourite spots. Well, I've been going there since I was 8 years old.
You know, our kids, they just love the water, so we're very fortunate to live here.
It is really important to us to support local charities. It is just a privilege to get alongside these great people.
Everyone we work with is just so committed. It's such a tight-knit team, it honestly feels like a big GJ family. And our tradies get the connection that we form with our clients.
Every customer is unique, and we want them to feel like their build is unique as well. The handover is the best part for us. It's a pretty special moment. It is really humbling.
One thing that's great about GJs is you get the support of a national team.
But you've also got local offices, so you've got locals working for locals. That's really important.
So I'm joined here courtside by our first finalists, Julia and Shauna. What a performance, 2-0. How do you feel?
Yeah, how we feel, it was a little bit of a roller coaster. I feel like I've been through an emotional battle, but yeah, I was super stoked to get that win and fight just at the end where it counted and come away with the win.
Yeah, you talk about an emotional battle, 3 points down in the first set. Like, what's going through your head at those moments when you're 3 points down, you get into the end of the set, you come out and play some of your best volleyball?
I think we back ourselves to be able to come from when we're behind, and we just know that we can do the job, and if we just focus on each point as it comes, we'll get it done. So yeah, I think we did that really well.
Along with a lot of screaming.
There always has to be loads of screaming, right? Second semi-final about to get underway. Canada versus Vanuatu, 2 international teams. What sort of threat do you feel they pose, and who would you rather meet?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Every international team brings a different flavour and a different style of play, so we're excited. Both of them are really strong, have really good skills, so either of them would be a tough battle, and yeah, we just want to watch them, I guess, play the winner.
And finally, anything you're working on for the final? Anything you want to sort of, we're watching to get, let's see if you get better at, any improvements, or are you quite happy with where it's at?
I think we're trying to bring in a bit more mixture into our game, like running some behinds and some 2 balls. We didn't quite get to bring that out as much as we wanted to in that semi, so I think we're going to try that going into the final.
Something we need to look out for, testing the blocker, running them around a little bit, and there's a couple of physical teams. That's awesome. Thank you very much, ladies, and good luck for the final. I'm looking forward to it. So there you have it, the first finalists. Team from New Zealand, the home team of Julia and Shauna. They go through to the final this afternoon. Who will they be facing? Well, it's Canada versus Vanuatu, and the second semi-final is coming up really, really soon. You're going to have to make sure you've got eyes on that one to see who will be playing the New Zealanders in the final a little bit later on. But from myself, Louis Lett, and the team, it's goodbye for now. We're going to see you again very, very soon.